All right, we're back. We are going to take a look at a little bit of Heroes Are Forged. Show you how a good way to do this with an all melee group. Because prefer to play melee over casters, even though casters make this particular mission 100 times easier and just boxing easier in general. But I just prefer not to play casters. I like the melee tunes. I like getting nice big damage weapons. More fun. So a couple of things in setup making this pretty darn easy. Never perfect, but since the spider tends to prefer the upper floors as opposed to the bottom floors, we're not going to utilize levitate and follow because you can't use follow to get up to the upper floors. You have to manually control your tunes to get up. The two sets of staircases, either here or inside the buildings, both have turns to them, so follow completely stops working. And the other thing is with the Lich, if you've got a tune on follow when the Lich starts, if the Lich warps and summons, follow goes absolutely bonkers, and almost entirely your entire group is going to end up down here. Like they just start running in like super weird circles when warp happens. So a couple reasons why we're not going to bother with follow. So and why we don't have levitate on, because we're not going to be moving around. So we're going to just pull everything to right here and beat its butts right there. The spiders, the widows. And the reason why we're right here is because this is where the Lich is going to spawn, and to help avoid warping as much as possible, because the warping is very, very unfriendly to melee stuff. As soon as the Lich spawns, we can go into like full burn and have it dead, usually with one, maybe two warps there. I'm also going to keep my Ranger parked up there because he'll be able to beat it down with bows. If it does warp around, there's only a couple of spots that'll get you some line of sight issues. So park him up there, and he's got a good view there to help on that, while still being able to hit everything that we pulled to here. I've also got my pet up there on guard. I'm going to have pulled all pet attacks off of like my melee spam keys, where I normally would have it on like the spam, so that it's just always attacking and not a separate click. I'm going to keep it as its own kind of separate click here. That way it doesn't cause any issues when I'm pulling the spiders and accidentally start attacking it away from where I want to pull it to, our camp here. Because the mobs in this zone have a huge aggro modifier, aggro range modifier. So they don't give a shit about who's highest on aggro. They're going to attack who's closest to them. So if we're trying to pull here, and spiders will often get caught trying to come through these walls here, the pet may start attacking them there, and then it's just a pain in the butt because you're trying to back the pet off, and the queen is just summoning it back, and it's a royal pain in the butt, and it usually just results in pets and your pet dying. And since we just have our Shadow Knight pet and Beast Lord pet, we don't have enough DPS to take the sacks down, so we've got like two spiders each of those phases we need to worry about. So I'm just going to kind of keep them parked over here, so it just eliminates that risk, because it again is a slightly and mildly annoying. The other thing we're going to do here, ignoring the note mechanic, is all the tunes in the plus spot here. We've got the Bravery clicky from NOS. And as of recording this, there's still a couple days left on the faction, the double the double faction bonus going on. But also, it's the faction potion in the store is like super cheap. It was like 250 station cash things, whatever the heck they're called. So that's what I used a while ago, just to get them on all the tunes. And with a double faction, it still only takes like 30 minutes per tune to get faction up to ally to get everybody that clicky there. And this clicky is not perfect. It's not going to completely make the note do absolutely nothing there. So it does, what does it say? It says they're supposed to absorbs 100% of incoming damage for up to 8 hits. Like, that's a lie. It's not 100%. It's just a lot. But it does have a max on it. So one hit from the note is going to absorb the entirety of all 8 of those. So what this will do is this will allow you'll get 2 notes, and the first hit will get absorbed, the second hit will do damage. But luckily, just one single hit is only going to take tunes down to like halfway, so you could easily heal up through it. And then the other thing is, since we're going to burn the Lich really, really quick here, Lich is going to be dead super, super fast. And then we'll pull Shallow in, and Burns will still largely be going. So Shallow is going to die very, very quickly before she gets a second set of notes off. There's also some possibilities. So like the Queen casts a dot, and that will eat through this as well. So sometimes 1 or 2 tunes die because they've got a dot up on them that eats through that. But even then, that's usually not an issue there. Even if it's the Cleric, there's no extra healing really required. We can do that with Chamois Epic through this. So yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll get some of our short-term buffs up and running. We got everything else already fully buffed. I try to make sure like I'm 150% buffed here with all the goods, because everybody here is just group geared, and the Bard is still just been very neglected, and still has some old expansion gear there, since he's just relegated mostly to just his added DPS. But I want to make sure we're doing as much DPS as possible so that we have no issues here. We want to kill the Widows fast. We want to get through the slime before we get any of the green slimes. And even if we do get some ads, it's still pretty darn easily manageable. It usually doesn't actually do much, but can help avoid some extra micromanagement if we don't get them, and makes things a little bit easier. So, yeah, we are going to go ahead. We're going to head up top. Let me refresh my Shadow Knight stuff here. Let's see, those are starting to wear off. We'll head up here and trigger. I can tell I'm not set to main assist. Should make things a little bit wonky, so there we go. A couple seconds to go active. Bard Epic going. Let's see, Ranger was set to melee and not his bow. A little mildly annoying. But we should still be able to get this done and dead before we get any ad. We might get that one little tick of the AE at the end there, which is a little bit of a pain because we are all melee, but it's an easy thing to heal through. Let's get all this looted so we can get rid of... Won't be using it, but we'll get rid of that annoying clicky stuff. Cool. No ad, no AE. This spider is kind of annoying to get like tucked into the corner there. But also it has no hit points whatsoever, so we don't care. All right, we're going to sit our butts down to get attack off. We're going to back the pet off. The pet's up there, since we're not even attempting the spider and we're pulling. If the pet is up there, again, that makes it a royal pain in the butt. So when we're pulling the spider, we don't want to run from inside and try to jump over or take those stairs there, because the spider is not going to follow you out that way. It's going to get itself stuck, and it's just going to keep summoning back. So you want to kind of come up that first set of steps and run around, and we're going to pull it from out to back here. So, and the other nice thing, the good and bad about doing it this way is we got to wait here a minute for it to go reactive, but this also gives you a chance here to regroup, rebuff if somebody did die because something went wrong. you've got some time to, you've got a minute to rebuff. And I'm going to hang out here because I do not want to engage the spider. I want to kill the widow first. As you can see, still got itself stuck on the geometry because it loves to. And you can kill the queen first and then kill the widowmaker. The widowmaker has got a lot of hit points, but even in just group DPS here, we'll be able to kill it before the queen goes active. But I like giving myself a little bit of a breather there to regather, because it could be close. Like as soon as the widow is dead, you've got to be at the queen very, very quickly. The one downside to doing the widow, then the queen, though, is the queen will get off some of her dots. Her dot can be really nasty, and I kill myself not paying attention every couple of of attempts here. Not paying attention, that all of a sudden one of my tunes is getting its butt kicked by the dots, like my Beast Lord is right now. So where are we at? Back upstairs there. I'm gonna sit to stop attack and back off the pet again, and we'll run our butts up here. So this is why I kind of prefer stationary, is because it is just so heavily favored to be up top here. Yeah, see, there's my Beast Lord taking some ugly hits from the dot. And for the sake of simplicity, I don't have any kind of like targeted heals, but I've got a group heal. So if other tunes are taking damage, I just spam group heals. If you want to set up extra hotkeys, you can set up a hotkey to heal each of the slots. But group heals just do so much healing in this expansion. I mean, as you saw, there was a near complete heal from one hit. Pulling Spider back out. Getting a little bit of damage hitting you from the butt, but just spam some group heals while you're running in and you'll be fine. Let's make sure we get some aggro on the Widow here. See, that was annoying. We were only attacking the Widow, but so what happens there is it's supposed to every 20%, but sometimes it'll kind of lag, and you'll do like 35% of the damage in one phase, so that the next phase, when it goes active, it only needs like 5% more damage. So even though like we were all on the Widow, like damage shields and stuff like that still took it down pretty quickly. But see, we got plenty of time, so we're gonna back off the pet. And one thing I should probably do here, let me get the queen on target. Probably chill like right here, because the queen, whenever it's on the bottom floor, I didn't do it this time. It likes to warp, or not warp, but it'll, when it goes active, it likes to respawn and like warp down to its original spawn point out there. And that's also really annoying, because a lot of times what it does that it gets caught in like the geometry and like the z-axis, so you can't cast or hit it, and it will just try to summon you to it instead of like following you out. So always annoying when it does that. Get some group heals going because she dotted my cleric. I'm doing a ton of damage to the cleric. And back over here again. Let's do a quick refresh of some short-term buffs. While we wait. Aggro can also be really weird in this spot here. Usually she goes active with her aggro totally wiped and you've got to re-grab it, but every so often, and it's not dot based, everything will be off. Like the only stuff up here is gonna wear off quickly, or she might get on the beast lord there, but every so often she'll summon somebody to her, which can make things mildly annoying because then you're trying to pull her back while also getting your other character back to you. Cool, we got aggro. Get a little bit better position here. We're going to redo our Bard Epic here because we are pretty close to the Lich, because that'll spawn pretty quickly here off the Queen. And we want to get Burns going. We're getting the two-hander to get some better DPS. Burns going. There we go. Got dead without a single warp. And then, cool, we're going to pop our absorb. Let's see here. So, but Beast Lord's beating up on a ton of cool beans. There we go. Nice and easy-ish. Just takes a little bit of management, pulling it around. You saw here that second hit here did do some damage to it. A lot of them healed themselves up really, really quickly here because the always pop off the SK Epic. So it took them down to 0.5%, but their burn melee re-healed them very, very, very quick. Whereas the Ranger fighting from the bow that doesn't get the SK healing, and the Cleric obviously don't have on melee. Cool. Yeah, so that's it. That is done. We'll show you what we got from loot, which is probably going to stink. Not bad. 125. And then I still need a good chunk of these, at least like one or so on each of the tunes for some filling up some AUG slots like that. So I know my Ranger's been desperate for it. This one is janky. We don't need that. And this is the ring one. That one's actually because the tower ones are really, really nice. Whereas, yeah, this is the tower one, but there's only one in the tower, so I actually do need some of those across the board. So, okay, yeah, not too shabby of loot. A couple of those AUGs are kind of all no good anymore. Don't need those. So, cool. There you go. That is Heroes Forge, just ignoring all mechanics and just bullying your way through everything. Hope you enjoy.